Hi everyone, we are going to be cooking up an amazing essential oil infused Italian meal. So we are going to start off with tomato sauce, which is really nice and versatile. It can go over pasta, it can go in protein-based dishes. So we're going to show you how to do the tomato sauce, and we're going to show you how to create a wonderful Italian dipping sauce that you can offer as an appetizer with some bread, also essential oil infused. So this is going to be a fantastic recipe. I know you're going to use it again and again. So we're going to start off first just by adding a little bit of olive oil to our pan. And we are going to brown up 1 onion. So I have this onion already chopped up. And you want to chop your onion according to who's eating it. So if it's me, I leave it a little bit bigger. If it's my children, I tend to make little micro pieces out of it because you know how the kids can be. So this is going to take about 5 minutes or so. You're going to keep going until that onion starts to get brown and you can start seeing through it. It's going to get a little bit clear. Now, one of the biggest differences in cooking with essential oils over cooking with dried herbs is that you actually are going to add the essential oils at the end. So during the cooking process, when you use a dried herb, you actually would add it right to the tomatoes as they started to cook, because you would want to take those dried leaves and leave them enough time for that leftover essential oil to come out and flavor the dish. When you skip right to the essential oil, it doesn't need that cooking time. And as a matter of fact, the less amount of time that it's actually in the heat, the more you're going to be receiving the supportive benefits of those essential oils. So you're kind of getting a great double whammy. You're getting some really good flavor and you're getting the great supportive benefits of essential oils. All right, so we're just going to let that cook there. So what's nice about this tomato sauce is it actually cooks together all in one pan, so that definitely saves on the cleanup for sure. Okay, so now we're gonna add the garlic. I put mine into a garlic press. Of course, you can always smash it with your knife, or you can mince it up, depending upon how you like to do it. So I put 2 cloves in here, and with a garlic press, it always seems to kind of reserve some in the press itself. So in actuality, I'm getting about 1 clove to 1.5 cloves of garlic. And you only want to stir this in there for about 30 minutes or 30 seconds or so. Because you don't want your garlic to burn. You just want it to become fragrant. So now that we have the onions and the garlic in there, we are actually going to add 3 cans of diced tomatoes. So you want to get a good organic diced tomato, and we're going to pour it right over the top. And we're going to reduce our heat. And we're going to stir in our amazing onions. All right, now that this is all stirred together, we're actually going to let it cook for about 15 minutes, and we're going to stir it occasionally. While our tomato sauce is cooking, we're going to whip up our appetizer, and this is just a great Italian dipping sauce that you can use to dip either bread or raw vegetables in. It's really good on both. They always start with a great base of olive oil. So we're going to take about 1/2 cup of olive oil. You can do this in smaller quantities if you only have a few people that will be using the dipping sauce. Then we're going to put in about 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. I love the flavor of balsamic vinegar and olive oil together. It's really good when dipped in bread. So next we're going to take some garlic and we're just going to press it into the bowl. to add a nice flavor. And then we're gonna add our essential oils. Now, because we are using these for flavor and it's a small amount, I tend to be a little bit more cautious, but you basically wanna add 1 drop of rosemary. And the way that I'm gonna do this is I'm actually gonna put this right into the spoon. That way, if I get a little bit more than a drop, I don't have to worry about it over flavoring. So there's a drop of rosemary. Next, we're gonna do a drop of basil. And I'm just gonna do it the exact same way, just to make sure we get the right amount. And last, we're gonna add a drop of oregano. Then we're gonna give it a nice stir. Now you can use the same spoon that you dropped the essential oils on, or you can use a different one depending upon how strong you like your flavoring to be. So, and this is it. This is the whole dipping sauce. It's gonna stay a little bit separated, which gives it this beautiful color, and we are ready to serve it with some bread slices or with some raw vegetables. Okay, so here we are. It's about 15 minutes later, and now we have this wonderful pasta sauce. Now, when you pull it off of the heat, you actually want to give it about another 10 to 15 minutes to cool down. And the reason for that is that with the essential oils, you don't have to have them cook anything out. It's not like a dried herb where you really need that time for it to kind of stew in there to become flavorful. It's going to be flavorful right out of the bottle. And the more raw you can serve it, the more supportive benefit you are going to get. Now, I like to, when I'm using the essential oils for flavoring, I don't actually drop the essential oil in there because it can go from wonderfully flavored to overpowering in no time flat. So I actually use the toothpick method, especially when it comes to tomato sauce. So I'm going to take my oregano and I'm going to take my toothpick and I'm just going to dip it into the top of the oregano bottle, and I'm going to wipe that into the sauce. Then you want to grab another toothpick and go to the next one and wipe that in. And this one is actually rosemary essential oil. And then last but not least, we're going to add our basil. And we're going to stir that all into the pasta sauce. Next, we're going to take a spoon and we're going to stir it up, and then we'll taste it. You might have to repeat this process 3 or 4 times in order to get the flavor blend that you like, but it's definitely worth doing with the toothpick over risking putting too much essential oil into your tomato sauce and having an overpowering flavor. So here we have it. We've got this amazingly flavorful dipping sauce that you can offer as an appetizer, and we have this great tomato sauce, both infused with the supportive goodness that is in essential oils, and the 2 flavors actually really go very well together. With your tomato sauce, you can keep it hot and serve it over pasta. You can also take it and add it to a protein, put chicken in it, you can put beef in it, you can even put meatballs in it if that's what you like, or you can serve it over raw vegetables or the spiralized zucchini as well. So there's so many options there that you can do with either one of these, and I really hope that you enjoy them. Have a fantastic meal. Hi everyone, we are going to be cooking up an amazing piece of salmon, and this actually pairs really well with the wonderful lemon vinaigrette that we're going to show you how to do a little later. But let me just tell you how easy it is to actually prepare a really good piece of salmon. So when you have the salmon, all we're going to be adding to it is a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and some lemon essential oil. So the first thing I'm going to do is just dive into the salt and the pepper. So you're just gonna put a little pinch of pepper over the top. You can also use freshly cracked pepper because that offers a more robust flavor. And then we're gonna do a little pinch of salt. Now, when it comes to the essential oil, Typically, you will see me use essential oil when you first put it on a spoon or dipping it into a toothpick. But because you want a lot of lemon essential oil over the top, I'm actually just gonna go ahead and drop it directly onto the fish. Now, by a lot, I use probably a good 4 or 5 drops because I like a nice lemony flavor when it comes to my salmon. So if you like it lightly lemoned, then you may wanna add it to an olive oil, or you may just want to use fewer drops to actually bring out that nice lemony flavor in your salmon. So there we go. Now we have a nice, good lemon piece of fish. So with our olive oil, I'm actually going to prepare this in a pan. However, I also really enjoy grilled salmon, and to grill a salmon, it's actually quite simple as well. You can do it right on the burner. It only takes about 4 minutes per side on the grill. So the salmon already has the lemon on it, and so we're gonna take that same flavor and we're gonna put it right into the vinaigrette, which will go over some great greens. So the first thing I'm gonna do is add 4 tablespoons of olive oil. So I like to use extra virgin olive oil, but you can use your favorite olive oil to taste. So to that, I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of this great apple cider vinegar. And another fantastic thing about this vinaigrette is it's actually very supportive to your immune system. So not only are you getting the great supportive benefits of essential oils, but you are also getting the supportive benefits of apple cider vinegar and a nice raw honey. So with the honey, I would suggest using a great raw honey that has been unfiltered, because that will also give you some great supportive benefits, and we're gonna add about a teaspoon. So next we're gonna use about half a teaspoon of ground mustard. So to that, we're actually gonna add 2 drops of lemon essential oil. Now, I'm not really worried about getting too much lemon in there because I like my vinaigrette really nice and zingy. But if you wanted to make sure you only got 2 drops, you could actually take one of these teaspoons and just make sure that the 2 drops go right into the teaspoon. And then you could count that as it goes into your vinaigrette to make sure you don't get too many drops in there. I'm just gonna sprinkle some in here because I know I love that tangy zip. So now we're gonna mix all of this up in the bowl together and toss it with our greens. So now that our ingredients are whisked together, we're gonna drizzle it onto our greens and just give it a really nice light toss. Now we're ready for a nice bed of greens for our salmon. A beautiful piece of salmon over a bed of greens that has been dressed with a nice lemon vinaigrette.